You know you're competing with food brands that advertise and spend billions of dollars each year. If you're aware, Coca-Cola invests over $6 billion a year in advertising and promotion of their brands. Procter and Gamble is even more than that. There's other companies in the consumer product goods space that spend a lot more than that. Well, but let's go back to the ratios, and I'm excited. And I just shared with you my food industry ratios report is out and published, has been updated. What I wanted to share with you though today is if you're beginning to think about advertising, and if you haven't done that before, you're thinking about how can I be effective with my advertising. Well, one, you want to think about who it is that can help you with the advertising, and then also at the same time you want to start to understand advertising, how you can be more effective. And I've got a classic book, Scientific Advertising. I would like to send you a copy. Get on my mailing list at timforrest.com. Get on my newsletter list, and I'll send you a free copy, a PDF version of Scientific Advertising, and it can kind of walk you through. It lays down the foundation of what is good advertising. And what has always captured for me one of the best vehicles for advertising and scientific advertising is demos. So thinking about your food business, demos is a big part of your business. And so one of the things I ask my clients and that we talk about is when and where are you going to do your first 50,000 demos? Yeah, that's 50,000 demos. So that is a lot. But that is an answer of how fast and how big you're going to grow your business. And if it's going to take you 2 years to do, fine. But just be aware that that is a major effort, major part of success in the food business are demos. And think about what's the value of the demos. We're going to get the brand out. We're going to collect consumer information. We're going to actually sell. At some demos, we can do paid sampling where we can sell product. But that's a different subject. What I wanted to talk about today is the book Scientific Advertising, and just give you an outline real quick of some of the rules that are in there. And so one of the most important things, a lot of this is obvious, headlines, psychology. We want to be specific. We want to tell the full story. We want to use art. So we want to use art. We want to have beautiful images in our Facebook ads, in our social media advertising. We want to spend time and make sure that we're doing wonderful things there. And so when we're thinking about our budget, and if this is new to you, when we look at the food industry ratios, we're looking at a ratio of about 7% on average of publicly traded food companies, manufacturing companies, what they're putting into advertising. We want to be thinking about our revenue. If we're running of $1 million food business, we want to be thinking about $70,000 in advertising. That's what the benchmark is. And so we need some method to be thinking about that. And so scientific advertising, if you have no background in advertising, this is a starting point. This will give you the rules of advertising, allow you to go forward. You want to tell a full story. Art in advertising. You want to avoid costly mistakes. And this is one of the things that I work with all of our clients on, is that we want to avoid mistakes. And we do that by starting small. We want to invest in advertising that we can observe some ROI, that we can be aware of. Half of ad budgets a lot of times are spent on non-response advertising and just branding, whereas the other half oftentimes, and sometimes some of the folks in the industry share that most effective is half for brand and half for response, direct response advertising. But we want to be thinking about our ads with some return, some interest, and tracking that ROI. So we want to provide in our ads, we want to provide everything that's needed, full information. We want to have a strategy. Is there a strategy in place for our advertising? And talk about that. And then samples. That's so big. One of the reasons food photography is so important is that it provides an opportunity to sample our food products with the eyes. And it actually saves money. We think we're spending a lot of money for food photography, but in turn, really, we're saving on those 50,000 samples I mentioned earlier. With food photography, we're actually sharing and having people sample with their eyes, experiencing our food product without having to physically taste it, which is much more effective and is a start. But we want to think about with samples, there's opportunity for coupons, free trials, samples. We can go through even through online platforms, and we can do partnerships with home delivery companies as far as getting samples out there as well. So there's so much we can do there. We want to have full distribution in our marketing and advertising area. We want to think about test campaigns. That's one of the things. Anything that we ever do, we don't ever want to test. We don't ever want to take an initiative with our advertising that's more than 10% of the overall budget. We want to support our distributors. So where we have distribution and distributors, we want to think about taking our ad dollars and focusing in those areas. And we want to, and going back to the book Scientific Advertising, I'm just running down the list. We want to avoid negative ads. We can use personalized email, which everyone knows how effective email marketing can be. We're going to work on name recognition and then always use good business practices. And so there's all sorts of areas that we can invest as well, thinking about content creations, social media strategy, influencer partnerships, email marketing, SEO, e-commerce integration, data analysis, and customer feedback. If you would like, I can send you my outline, the book, The Rules of Advertising. So if you'll send me a note, tim@timforrest.com, I'll send you my rules of advertising. If you get on the newsletter list, I'll send you a PDF of Scientific Advertising by Claude Hopkins. You could also find it online as well. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope this helps. Also, if you'd like a copy of the Food Industry Ratios, this is available, and this is where I got the information inspired me to share this today. Thanks a lot. I appreciate you watching.